Thank you. How's everybody doing today? Good? Excited? Ready to have your minds blown? All right, so first of all, thanks to the folks who came before me who gave us shout outs. We appreciate it. I've tweeted it, you should retweet it. So I'm going to talk about integration exasperation today. Does anybody know what that is? So it's the feeling of exasperation you feel when being presented with too many integration options, too many partnership options. A lot of you are just taking your first steps or have taken your first steps and are trying to figure out how to partner. And what I'd recommend is think really carefully before you start building integrations. So again, I'm David. I head partnerships for Xero's US operations. For those of you who don't know who Xero is, we are the global leader in online accounting for small business. We are a cloud-based platform, always have been, always will be. We're about 8 years old. We have about 330,000 paying small business customers across the globe. We didn't do it alone. We have lots of partners. We have 300 integrated application partners, people who have built to our API, partnerships we actively manage. We have about 12,000, 11,500 accounting and bookkeeping partners who bring all of their small businesses to us to get on our platform. And we have a staff of 900, again, across 11 offices. We have a lot of people to serve. We have our customers, we have our accounting and bookkeeping partners, but we also have our integrated partners. So we need to provide service in pretty much every time zone that we exist in. We have a great flagship office in San Francisco. It's a 25,000 square foot place with a great view of the bay. We have happy hours almost every Friday, so you're all invited for beers. Just email me. My email will be up at the end of the presentation. So who in their right mind would partner with 300 partners and more? We all know how much work it is to partner, keeping partners happy, bringing value to the table on a continuous basis. So the bottom line is we just know we can't do it on our own. We're going to be really great at being the general ledger. We're going to be the best cloud general ledger there can be, but we're going to let our partners do the specialization. They're going to do the line of business applications. They're going to do the specialty tools for accountants. They're going to build the great payroll, expense management, CRM. We love that. Bring it on. Make us better. We'll help make you better. So at this point, again, we've got 300 plus public applications, many more, thousands of private applications. So here's the question for you folks. Why build integrations at all? Why take your product and connect it to somebody else's? And I'd say that if you have our approach, again, it's hard to do it all alone. You're going to do one thing, maybe two really, really well. Don't try and do everything. Rely on others to do that with you. So a couple of rules for, in my mind, about why you would want to integrate. The first one, and above all else, if you're creating value, integrate. If there's no value to be had, if it's just a cool thing to do, pass it up. Wait until you have more hands, which, more extra resources, extra engineering resources, which I know is kind of a funny thing to say. But again, increasing value, and in my mind, it's again, you just can't solve every use case on your own. You should integrate to add non-core features. I don't want to be entirely self-serving here, so let's not talk about non-accounting. If you're an e-commerce shopping cart, you should have payments. You should have reporting. All these things you don't have to do by yourself. You can rely, there's great applications out there to partner with. And do accounting integrations for everything else. Again, so core features, product utility. Why not give your customers more bang for their buck? Keep them in your product longer. Make them more reliant on spending time in your application by extending into other applications. And finally, it comes back to giving time back to your customers. This is the value piece. Just a personal story. I spent a good part of my career with a large bank, a couple large banks, and we were white labeling cloud solutions for small business. We were trying to do more for our business customers. And we watched these things as we rolled them out, cash flow management tools, e-commerce, website building. They were all just kind of floundering. They weren't getting uptake. And had an epiphany that it was because we were just creating more work. We were taking more time away by creating disparate systems where our customers had to go and enter all of this data into their accounting system at the end of the day. Aha, I said, well, it's all about accounting. So I quit my job, moved to California, and I'm now working for Xero. So again, giving time back to your customers is something they'll always appreciate you for. So another reason to integrate is to drive distribution. Nothing's better than becoming part of someone else's story. If you're a feature fill or a gap for them, again, Xero's got expense management, but we don't have awesome expense management. We're relying on our partners at Expensify and other folks to do that really deep line of business application. They're part of our story now. Our salespeople talk about them when they sell Xero because it helps sell Xero. Vertical positioning and targeting. Your partners are going to go after specific verticals that they don't have specialty in. They don't specialize in. So why not bring that specialization to them? Lastly, and this is just awesome, if you can change the game with an integration, do it. People talk about integration sometimes as being derivative. It's just going to be derivative technology. I say no, it can be disruptive, and in a good way. We took Xero and combined it with Constant Contact. Who thought email marketing and accounting software had anything to do with each other? But now we've got small businesses intelligently mining their accounting transaction data to create segmented mailing lists. It's just awesome, and people love it. I would just caution you at this point. Those are some good reasons to integrate, but as you're choosing partners for your integration journey, there are some things to watch out for. First of all, bright, shiny objects, especially in startup mode. There's a lot of these. Distractions can be really cool and really awesome, but they generally don't create value. And there's a really easy way to solve for this, to figure out if something is a bright, shiny object. Ask yourself the question, am I saving someone time or money? And if the answer is no, the opportunity is probably limited. Your customers, yourself, think about the stakeholders. And then who you're partnering with is critical as well. Pick your partners wisely. Their commitment levels may vary. Again, good rule of thumb, ask yourself the question, will that API I'm spending all this time and resource building to be there tomorrow? We know that that's not always the case, and sunsets happen for people. Breaking changes cost you time and money, and probably customers. Nothing's more frustrating than going to use your expense management solution and having it not work with your accounting software. So, good question to ask there is, what version of your API are you on? Xero is 8 years old, and we're on V2 of our API. So, food for thought. Then finally, uptime is everything, right? Nothing's more frustrating to your customers than a broken API. Their API experience will impact your customer experience. Thank you.